Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. Today we have some holiday from Charlotte Tilbury in the form of the Beautyverse eyeshadow palette. So glad to have you here today. Don't forget that you can also join me over on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. All right, we got a lot to do here. I'm of two minds on this holiday released collection from Charlotte Tilbury, and I'll give you both points of view and how it's kind of changed since it's gotten here, and I've played with it a little bit, and we're going to do two different eye looks as well today and some comparisons. We are very busy people. I don't know if I should have, but I skipped the holiday blush and glow minis that she has up there for $29. It reminded me too much of the bronze and glow and such that I had from earlier collections, and maybe I shouldn't have skipped that, but I really wanted to get to what I was most intent on seeing in person, and that is this Beautyverse palette for $75. And I'll tell you why I was two minds. When I first saw it in photos, and photos never do anything justice, I did not know what to make of the 9 pan. I at first thought it was very Huda, then I thought it was too glittery, then I thought it was too pastel, and I knew I just had to get it. So this is what I grabbed. Again, this is the $75 limited edition Beautyverse palette from the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood 2023 collection. No, it's not that I'm not getting my hand out of the way. I will have really good swatches and comparisons. My finger is over this digital lilac shade, this kind of new shade that they're really talking a lot about. It has already fallen out, and I am in need of some Gorilla Glue, so that's why my finger is there. Don't worry, we will be able to take a look at this pretty well. I don't have it linked down below quite yet, as it's right now on early access on her app, but the moment it is on the website and other places, I will make sure to link it right away. And while you're in my description bar, check out the link for our $4.99 a month members only for weekly lives. My opinion quickly changed as I saw the palette in real life, there's no substitute for that, and started thinking about it a little bit. First of all, it is much prettier in real life than I thought it was. Second of all, I started realizing that these shades down here are almost like a bunch of her single little pop shots. In fact, we're going to compare to those. Remember the pop shots that were a season or two ago? We're going to compare to those as well. It's like a bunch of little individual pop shots. Plus, of course, these kind of pastel and what we would normally say spring in this part of the hemisphere. Other places it's warm right now, but in the kind of Western Europe and North America, what we would think of as spring shades have been very popular in makeup releases from Dior to Clé de Peau, and now here in the Charlotte Tilbury. And we had a little bit of a leak from Patrick Ta. If you saw that, I won't put it up here, but it looks like in addition to some single sparkly typical holiday shades that he's doing, he will also have a much more sparkly kind of pinks and such palette coming out as well. So this seems to be on trend for holiday. But then I reversed my thinking and I was a little bit against it again because it seemed that Charlotte Tilbury was going a little too TikTok on us. What do I mean by that? If you read the literature that goes along with this palette, she does call it a palette of trends and hopes that it embraces, in her words, latte eyes, strawberry, cyber, pink core, and she wants to introduce something called mermaid disco. So she's also kind of going for that new customer. I don't know if I blame her. A business is, after all, not a charity. It's there to make money. So I get it. But they're especially excited about this digital lilac shade, which they do mention a lot in the literature. So we definitely need to look at some swatches and do some comparisons. Let me take a quick moment to explain a question I've had a few times. Some folks that are not in North America have said to me, Rebecca, when you say holiday, could you mean Halloween? Do you mean Christmas? And I get it, because the American term for going on holiday, as those in Ireland and the UK would say, is to go on vacation. And when we say holiday, we do mean gift giving times in December. So I thought I would clear that up just in case. All right, let's go to some swatches now. We're going to do it in two different lights and then some comparisons. First of all, here is the Charlotte Tilbury Beautyverse palette laid out as you would see it in the pan. First, in studio lighting, take a look at that. Those bottom 6 shades, 5 of those bottom 6 shades are really Pop Shot-like. And then that top row is a super, super neutral. And we've got a neutral pink in there too. Charlotte tries to hit on all those trends, which I found a bit irritating, but I think it does it well, so I do forgive her. But I want you to know at first I was slightly irked, and I don't know why. And I was irked enough to skip the blushes, and I don't know why. Where does my irk come from? Maybe you guys could let me know. I think sometimes when you have been a very long time devotee of a brand, when they change or swivel or, you know, look at new people, there's something hurtful about it. I have no idea why. It is an inanimate object and company, but these emotions do become tied in with it, don't they? All right, let's take a look at these same shades on my arm outside in the warm California sunshine. And I am going to try to really zoom in so you can really see what they're like. To me, they looked like they would be so rough and so glittery and uncomfortable, but actually they're quite smooth. Really, they are. There's one shade here, this shade here that I have my finger on. I'm going to remove my finger now. That shade right there felt the grittiest of all of them, but like these are all actually very smooth. They look like they're going to be rough, painful glitter, but they're actually really smooth and nice. And the matte shades are beautiful and super easy to blend, so I can't stay disgruntled too long. I want to show you some comparisons. I talked about the Charlotte Tilbury Pop Shots, and immediately when they were so excited about this digital lilac shade, I thought about the Pop Shot in Ultraviolet. Do you remember this Pop Shot in Ultraviolet? And no, they're nothing similar. They really are. Nothing similar, but I am going to swatch them next to each other for you. And I also thought about the Pop Shots in Diamond Eyes and Rose Gold. I thought of those as well. To me, you might be able to even kind of recreate the feel of this palette if you have enough of the Pop Shots, but let me show you what I did, okay? Here are those same swatches again. Now, check the bottom row, and I went ahead and swatched messily, I know, the Ultraviolet Pop Shot next to that digital lilac shade, and then I went ahead and I swatched Diamond Eyes and Rose Gold Pop Shots next to the Golden Galaxy shade, which is that bottom shade all the way over on the right. So I went ahead and did that just so you can kind of see. They're similar. The Pop Shots are a little bit more opaque. And for instance, this shade here, right here, is much more of a topper shade. So the Pop Shots are a little bit more opaque, but they feel the same when you use them. They're very smooth and kind of nice, but the Pop Shots are indeed a little bit different. At first I thought maybe these were Pop Shots in pan. Not really. Okay, let's try this on. I will put the shade names on the screen so that you can see what I'm doing here. And I just want to try these on for longevity, not even a tutorial. Let's just see if we can make a quick, pretty look. Take a moment, if you have not subscribed to this channel yet, make sure that you do. Click that button. If you are subscribed already, make sure you're still subscribed. You never know what shenanigans YouTube gets up to. I've heard so much. Okay, let's go ahead and start right here with a Sonia G brush and this beautiful velvety, very velvety matte shade. So velvety that you really need to build it. I'm okay with that. And I'm just kind of putting that over this eye. We'll do 2 different eye looks. Keeping with that same brush, why not? Don't want to make brush laundry. I'm just going to darken the outer corner. Okay, now we can get into a little bit of fun. I don't know whether I want to use my finger or to use a brush. Let's try both. Sometimes the emolliency of the finger is really necessary. Let's go in right here to this shade right there, and I'm putting it on this Sonia G Sky brush, and let's just go ahead and put that all over the lid. Yes, these are definitely not as opaque as the Pop Shots were, but they're very pretty. they're definitely kind of toppers that really work well over the matte. And what I'll do just for fun right now is I'm going to also do a little bit with the finger, and let's see. Yes, you are going to definitely get more opaque coverage using the emolliency from the skin, your finger. Okay? And I am going to take this shade up top here, same brush, and just kind of go in to the inner corner. And that's actually really pretty. Very subtle, very down to earth, but also very holiday look, I think. And I think you would agree. All right, let's try this kind of pink look on the other eye. Why not? Going with some clean brushes into this pink matte shade, which can set up our eye over here. And I want to kind of do a pink look, and we'll use that violet shade. Okay. These matte shades are a definite pleasure to use. They feel like pillowy silk. Very, very nice. And you know, the kind of quality you would expect from Charlotte Tilbury. All right, let's go in first. This even has a blue shift to it, this violet shade. I'm going to go in first with the, ooh, look at that, with the brush, and then we'll also try it with our finger. Now with a brush you'll get more fallout, but I got to tell you, other than a few sparkles, I'm really not having any fallout. Take a look. Isn't that beautiful? Really pretty. Okay, and I'm going to do this now with the finger, same shade, just to get, yeah, it's going to be a little bit more opaque coverage. I mean, I know it's a second layer, but it's still much more opaque. That's very pretty. And let's take this shade right here, new brush, also Sonia G. Let's take this pink sparkly shade right here and go in to the inner corner and onto the eye just a little bit. That's pretty dazzling. And I'm not getting any fallout when I use my finger, and very minimal with a brush, which does speak to the quality here. So take a look there. So we kind of tried to do this pink. I wasn't going to do pink core or latte, although this is a much more latte look. I agree. Very, very pretty. I am wearing the blush palette that was out, released so long ago and probably not available. And I could see that if you're in the market for a kind of a blush and glow look, if you don't have enough already from Pat McGrath and whatnot, that would be something that could be very attractive, especially at the $29 price mark. I don't know if we're going to get some more from Charlotte Tilbury. I will tell you that she has a ton of different bundles. You could bundle this with a Pillow Talk wand. You could bundle them with eyeliners and lip colors and all sorts of things. There's a lot of fun stuff going on the site right now for holidays, and there might be more drop coming. But do I think this palette is worth it? Well, let me have you take another look at the eye look. I do. I don't think this is going to go down as in history as my favorite Charlotte Tilbury holiday release. You know, I think I still like those long, call me old fashioned, those long 12 pan palettes. But I think this does stand up to what appears to be a trend of these kind of sherbet shades of kind of spring bright pastels for holiday and glitter. So I think she's right on trend, and she's not hiding that by saying pink core and latte eye and all that. So do I think you need to rush out and get this? If you are a Charlotte Tilbury collector, this is limited edition. I think you would like it. Do I think it's as amazing as the Pop Shots were? No, I think that was a better release. And I think I just am not necessarily drawn to sparkly pastel shades. If you are, you will not be disappointed. If your thing is not usually sparkly pastel, I think you could safely skip it. I am not your bank manager, as I always say. I review beauty. I do not review bank accounts. So I can't tell you whether or not to get it, but I can tell you that if you enjoy these shades, you will not be upset. It is very well done. It is a beautiful, look at the casing. It is beautiful. Needs a little Gorilla Glue. I hear that one rattling. I think the shades are very pretty, but not as impressive as Pop Shots. And I don't know, I don't like it as much as some of her other holiday releases. Should I have gotten the Blush and Glow? What do you guys think? Am I recommending you get this? It's a matter of taste. It's quality and it's beautiful. Just depends if it's your thing. Tell me what you guys think. I mean, after all, this kind of chatter is what makes us a community. So kind of let me know your feedback if you would, please. Make sure that you share and thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe. all that good stuff. And we've got a lot of holiday goodness coming up, you guys. Definitely stick around for that, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.